as at 1940, they still existed. As at 2013, I went to the site to find them, and they were gone. Because there was a break of about 30 years in the priesthood, because those pyramids are preserved by priests. That spiritual rites, spiritual ceremonies are conducted for the pyramids because they were made out of clay and dung. And you know, rain washes that away. If you have to maintain it, if you don't maintain it, it goes. So there was an interim of about 30 years in the priest. There was no priest for 30 years, so they could not be maintained. So they disappeared. So, well, my point being that there has to be, the impetus is often spiritual in keeping these things alive. And the reason for that was that and in the case of the Nsudi pyramids, the impetus was there, but there was no one to carry it out, so it disappeared. So why the work continued had to be something that was so core to the values of the people. You understand? That's why I said, look, the elephant trap thing doesn't wash with me, because protecting yourself from elephants, amongst several other beasts of whatever, would have been, you know, significant, but not something that you would have perpetuated through a couple of centuries. So it had to have spiritual or defensive significance. The Benin wall system definitely had defensive significance, because Benin, as I told you, was a military state. Benin was protectionist. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it was about protecting. It was about, you know, Benin. They were warriors, plain and simple. They were paranoid, aggressive warriors. But then that was the basis of their success. So the moat system was, as their kingdom grew, so did the moat system grow. Because Benin City, if anyone who's been there, is not 6,400 kilometers wide in circumference. So as their kingdom was growing, they had to continue to protect. So the moat system continued to grow and grow. So with this, I would say that there is my theory, which is obviously not mine, but the theory that I subscribe to is that there was a linkage between the Benin moat system and this rampart system. The exact nature of that linkage has not been properly researched. I think the Queen of Sheba theory has been a bit of a distraction, quite frankly, because the Queen of Sheba could not possibly have ordered this. And in any case, it could not also have been sourced from the mythology of the people of this area. There is a nexus between Bilikisu Sungbo and the Queen of Sheba. Yeah. But that linkage in mythology, in their own mythology, not mine, is that she was the descendant of one of the servants, one of the trusted, close servants of the Queen of Sheba, several thousand years before, or a couple of thousand years before her own life. You know? And that distracted attention from actually the real research work that needs to be done as to why was this thing created, why was it dug, why, you know, you ask a very important question. That's a fundamental thing. Why would you have this? Why would people exert so much influence? But in the same time, why would you build pyramids?
And it's spiritual. Pyramids.
Precisely. Why would you invest so much energy? Sorry?
It's also spiritual thing.
Memorial. It was a memorial, but the thing is, it also has spiritual significance to the people. You know, because if you go down there, when we come out the other side, you see well, the pot's broken now. Is that the one with the water? It's still there. Now, I do not know how many years that water is supposed to have been there.
7 years.
It's difficult to say how long, you know, but the pot's been there. So I cannot for sure say that it's been there for 1,000 years, but it's definitely been there for at least a couple of 100 years. And the water inside is purple. I wouldn't recommend drinking it, but people do. You know what I mean, for spiritual purposes. So there's a reason why things are preserved. So this place has spiritual significance. There was also a toll gate there. So the defensive implications are also inherent, because that toll gate obviously means is related to access. Because the pot was there, you drop cowries in it and then pass. Now, what does that mean? Access. Access to what? To an area. And access to an area based on what? Based on defined borders. And why would you need to define your borders, and why would you need to secure your borders? Defense. So, but the question is, why can it not be defensive and spiritual at the same time? Because we can see evidence of that. We can see evidence. The water pot there has spiritual significance. The toll gate suggests administrative significance, either defensive or otherwise. So,
is the toll gate right here, or is that
you'll see it one way on the way. There's a pot there, and the pot's actually the pot with the carry toll is actually broken. It was broken in the last 2 years, because the first time I came here, it was here. You know. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, what type of technology would they use to dig up all this? And is there any evidence of any type of,
basically it was just pure manpower, shovels, massive shovels, massive native shovels, all ancient. But the thing is, they had a metalworking technology. You know, they also had a woodworking technology, so that they could. There's ancient tools, digging tools included wood shovels and metal shovels. Okay. So that's what they use. But the thing is, the myth of the giants, of the giants, obviously, you know. And I forgot. I actually have video footage of Chief Sonny. He says, "Oh, we don't have any giants anymore. Back days we had." I was like, "Were you there, sir?" You know, to confirm that. So, yeah. So they basically use manpower.
And have any of those been found? Like any remains of their shovels or nothing? Nothing has been found around.
Not around here.
Okay, that's interesting.
Here. And the thing is that I would have hoped that Darling's research, because Darling went as far as anyone has gone in the last 3 or 4 centuries.
Yeah.
You know, and as I said, Chief Chani said, 3 or 4 million is not simply about just restoring this place. It could also be used to continue to clear the Erebo further, to at least gain full insight as to where it actually ends. 3 or 4 million does a party at. In fact, if 3 or 4 million naira, you won't rent a hall in a hotel. With 3 or 4 million, you won't rent a hall at Golden Gate. No. But 3 or 4 million would at least have gone some way in clearing the Erebo up to an extent where we can get a fair bead on where it might possibly end or not end. Yeah.